Hi guys, it's Randy with Mastermind Parenting. And yesterday I was walking in my neighborhood, walking my dog, like I do, and I ran into a guy who's sort of a neighbor in my neighborhood, and we got to talking because that's what you do. Dog owners like to talk to each other, and he was a super friendly guy, and we just started kind of talking, and he said, I said, I'm Randy, and he introduced himself, and he said, yeah, I know who you are. I actually want to know more about what you do. I see like your stuff around the neighborhood and on social media, and I really have been super curious about what it is you do. And I said, okay, well, ask me anything you want. And he said, tell me, he said, well, okay, full disclosure, I'm a pediatrician, and he said, and I'm super curious because I know parents are needing help, and a lot of times they turn to me for help. And I've liked some of the things I've read about you, but I just want to know more. So we got to talking, and I said, basically, I help parents with communication tools. I help parents talk to their kids in a way that especially their most challenging kids can actually hear them. And so we just got to talking, and he said, it's interesting in my practice. He said, my mentor was a doctor who's now in his 80s, and he's a fabulous doctor. But just there used to be a different way of doing things. And, when I was a young doctor, he said, I would go in with my patients and I would just sort of like talk at them. And I thought everybody was just coming to me just to know the doctor, all the doctor things. He said, but what I found over the years is that I actually need to listen way more than I talk. And when I listen, and I hear people and I reflect back that I hear them, like that really is sort of the key. He goes in my practice, and I said, well, it's funny that you say that because that's actually empathy. Hearing what somebody says, listening, knowing how to listen, hear what they say, and then let them know and convey that you get it and you hear what they're trying to tell you. And then that builds trust. And then you can share all of the expertise and knowledge and the things that you feel like would benefit them in helping them figure out whatever problems they're trying to solve. That's when you can actually help them, because now they trust you because they know that you're not just talking at them, you've heard them. And he was like, exactly. And I said, that's what I teach parents to do. And I said, and I think that the kids that are our most challenging kids are kids that they can only hear us when they feel like we hear them. But when they're showing up in this place of super defensiveness and combativeness and digging their heels into every little thing, it's hard to not just want to shut down their behavior. Like this really goes way beyond medication and behavior modification. Like this goes to this place of just human connection. Like if a child's not doing well, if they're acting super challenging, they're really trying to tell us that they need help, but they don't know how to express it. And unless they trust us, they're not going to take whatever our recommendations or advice or guidance. They're not going to take it. They're going to just shut down, because especially these kids that are in this place of defensiveness, they feel misunderstood, they don't feel empathized with, and they don't want to hear our suggestions because they're just so used to feeling like everyone wants to control them. And he was like, exactly, exactly. And then he kind of goes into a story about like when he was a kid, and he's like, and I realized at that moment why he became a doctor. He felt misunderstood as a kid. And so his goal really has been in being a pediatrician is to help and support kids from this place of like, I'm an adult that you can trust. I'm an adult that you can come to, that you don't need to be scared of. I'm going to help you. I'm here to help heal you, you know? And so the most tangible way to heal a child is through, you know, being a traditional doctor. But I could tell that there was more to it than him, especially when he started sharing a story from his own life. And I said, yeah, it's our misunderstood kids that really need better support. And so that's really what I do. I said, I teach a bunch of cool parenting tools, but my goal is to help these kids that feel misunderstood, trust the adults around them to guide them and to build, you know, better relationships so that we can help them to solve problems. We can help them to show up from a place where they feel better about themselves and they feel like they're showing up as the best versions of themselves. But we have to be able to build trust to do that. And the only way to do it is to change the way we communicate with them. And, you know, using all of these strategies like timeout and just constantly correcting them every time they're acting out without doing what you do in your practice, sir, doctor, is without letting them know, like, I'm going to listen to you first. I'm going to get to the root of what's really underneath this behavior. And then I'll let you know that I'm not just trying to control you or shut you down. I'm here to understand you so that I can help you. And you have to be able to trust me so that I can help you. So I said, I really teach communication tools and ways to help families strengthen their relationship. And I developed this recipe and I trademarked my method because it works, especially with these most challenging kids, but really with all humans, children, everyone. It just strengthens every relationship. And so I have this really cool program that that I've created. And I have this tangible way of teaching people this recipe so that they can ultimately trust each other, and help their kids to feel better and do better and show up as better versions of themselves so they can go on and spread their wings and be successful humans. So, so he was like, wow, this is really cool. This is really cool. We need this. We need this everywhere. And I was like, I know, let's do it. It's a movement. So I thought that was really cool, just to like run into some random neighbor. And next thing you know, we find this common denominator that both of us have the same underlying why we're so passionate about the work that we do, because it's really about helping kids to feel better supported, more understood, and to realize that the adults in their lives, their doctors, their parents, their teachers, are their soft place to land, and we are here to help them. Because as Dr. Ross Green likes to say, kids do well if they can. So if they're not doing well, there's a reason, there's more to the story.